Good morning. So today, grab your blocks and we're going to work towards a flying dragon in honor of Year of the Dragon for this coming Lunar New Year. So find an easy pose, seated. You can bring your hips up onto a block. You can walk the hips forward so the sits bones are right on the edge. Your pelvis is tilted forward. Hands on the thighs, and just take a couple breaths here. You can close off the eyes if it's safe wherever you are. And as you inhale, feel that lifting of the crown as the body inflates. Hold that lift in the spine. And then as you exhale, you can press into the legs a little bit and start to really feel secure and a strong foundation in your seat. Go ahead and find a couple breaths here, just arriving into the space onto your mat. On your next inhale, we'll bring the hands up overhead, palms facing each other. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, turn towards the right. Bring the left palm onto the right thigh. Take that nice, big, deep inhalation in. Feel the lift of the crown. And as you exhale, press the hand to the thigh bone. Walk the fingertips behind you. Just take a gentle twist here. Stay for 2 more breaths. Big, deep inhale. As you exhale, maybe you can come a little deeper. One more breath here, staying for the exhale, pressing the palm into the thigh. And then as you inhale, start to unwind. Take the fingertips overhead, wiggle out the fingers, turn towards the left. Bring the right palm onto the left thigh. Nice and tall with the breath, feel the lift of the crown, draw the belly button towards the spine, and walk the fingertips behind you as you come a little deeper into the twist on the exhalation. One more breath here. And then inhale, unwind yourself, wiggle out the fingers, hands overhead, drop the shoulder blades towards the floor, away from your ears. Fingertips to the tops of the shoulders. We're going to roll out the shoulders, making a big circle with the elbows. And then as the elbows come alongside the body, pause there and change the direction of the circle. One more. And then release. We're going to bring the right hand down to the mat. Inhale, left hand up. Press the floor away from you as you start to reach over towards the right. Take a big breath in and then stay for the exhale. Reach a little deeper. You can keep your head facing forward, or maybe you can turn towards the ceiling. Upper palms facing the floor. Stay here, one more breath. And then I'm going to inhale, release back up. Bring the left hand over. Inhale, right hand up. Press the floor away from you as you reach over towards the left. Keep the arm bone out of your peripheral vision as much as you can. If you're facing forward, take another breath here. If you want to turn towards the ceiling, get a little bit more opening in the front body. Feel free. And then go ahead and inhale the arms back up. We're going to flip over and come into tabletop. So you can come off your block and remove your props. Starting in tabletop, spread your fingers wide. See that your wrist crease are parallel with the short end of the mat. Turn the eye of the elbow, that inner part of the elbow, towards each other. You can keep the toes tucked for now and just start by making a big circle with the hips. Keep the belly button drawn towards the spine and just unwinding here. And then the next time the pelvis comes back towards the heels, pause there and take the circle the other direction. Just feeling into whatever is there. If you have a flat spot, a sore spot, you can lean into it a little bit more. And then find your way back to center. We're going to take just a little cat-cow flow here to move the spine. Go ahead and untuck the toes, take a full breath in. As you exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine, round the back, drop the crown of the head towards the mat, and then press yourself back and find child's pose. In child's pose, take a full breath in. As you exhale, let the pelvis move towards the heels, let your head hang, maybe even reaching the forehead to the mat. On an inhale, come forward, back into tabletop, tuck the toes, arch the back, find cow, draw the shoulder blades together. And then on your exhale, reverse the movement, untuck the toes, round the back, really pressing into the area of the organs, and then moving the pelvis back towards the feet. Take a full breath in child's pose, full breath out. We'll take 3 more like that. You can move with your own breath count, tucking the toes, arching the back, looking forward, finding cow, and then on the exhale, reversing the movement, rounding the back, releasing the crown of the head towards the mat, find cat, and then press back in child's pose. Take that extra full breath in and full breath out in child's pose. Let the pelvis come towards the feet. 2 more. Last one. And as you come back to child's pose, we'll meet here for 3 breaths. And then inhaling back up into your tabletop. Go ahead and take those hip circles. One more time, each direction. And then we'll move to the spine side to side. So just turn and look towards one foot. So you're stretching into the side body. Take a full breath in, full breath out. And then reverse the other direction. You can press the hips out a little bit, just getting a little movement side to side here. And go ahead and see if you can find 2 more on each side. Keeping the spine in alignment as much as you can. Last one. And then back to center. Go ahead and take your right foot out behind you. Press into the ball of the right foot. Use the power of the arms, pressing the hands against the mat. Open up the back of the leg. Take a full breath in, full breath out. 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and take the right foot out to the right. Bring the sole of the foot on the mat. And just pressing back and forth here, moving through space. Getting a little bit more into the side of the thigh and the hip joint. And then let yourself come to neutral. We're going to walk the hands back, sit up, point the toes towards the ceiling, and then exhale, reach towards the foot. So getting a little bit more movement now in the side body. Take a full breath in, full breath out. And then inhale yourself back up. Bring the hands back down to the mat. Go ahead and take your right foot across the body, so the ball of the foot's on the other side. And then once again, opening up to the side, turning to look at that foot. So getting a little bit deeper side stretch here. And then go ahead and Lift the right foot, come back into tabletop. Once again, you're going to take that hip circle once in each direction, and then find your way back to neutral. Reset your hands. Make sure that your wrist crease are parallel with the shoulder on the mat. Draw the elbows towards each other. Extend the left foot back. Pressing into the ball of the foot, use the power of the hands against the mat to press the pelvis back. Get a nice stretch there in the back of the leg. We're going to bring the left foot out to the left, sole of the foot on the mat, and just press ourselves back and forward. One more. And then go ahead and cross the body, bring the left foot over to the right, and just turn to look at that foot. Breathe a little deeper to get a little bit more opening there on the side body, opening up the spaces, the intercostal spaces between the ribs. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then release the leg back to neutral. From neutral tabletop, just take your hips in a circle. Take the circle both directions. And then from here, we're going to press up into downward dog. So again, open your fingers wide. First fingers pointed towards the shoulder of the mat. Wrist in place. Press into the knuckles of the fingers, the tips of the fingers to lift your knees, and press your tailbone towards the heels. With the knees deeply bent, we're going to extend in the spine. Let the heart drop towards the mat, shoulder blades coming together in the back. And once you have the spinal extension, only then start to extend one leg and then the other into downward dog. Bending one knee very gently and then the other. Continue to open up the legs. And then find your way to stillness and downward dog. Just 3 breaths there. Actively pushing the pelvis back towards the foot end of the mat. Really engaging in the hands, tips of the fingers, knuckles between the fingers to take any weight off the wrist. Take one more full breath in, full breath out. And then look forward between the hands, bend the knees, and start to walk yourself forward. Find your forward fold atop the mat. From forward fold, release the crown of the head. You can hold onto opposite elbows, soften the knees, and just rock and roll a little side to side. And then go ahead and find center, release the elbows. We're going to roll up the back, lower back, middle back, upper back, head, neck, arms come last. Let the arms float up overhead. Clasp onto one wrist and then draw yourself over to the other side. So once again, getting that little side body stretch. Inhale back to center and then take it to the other side. And then back to center, release everything down and just give yourself a nice little shake. All right. We're going to go ahead and roll out the ankle. So you can either balance and lift the foot and roll the ankle out in a circular direction, or you can keep the big toe on the mat and roll around the big toe. Go ahead and just take a couple of circles there on one ankle, whichever way you prefer. And then release. Other side. So either lifting the foot and balance, rolling it out, or big toe on the mat. And then feet together. Bring the heels a little bit apart, toes together. Bring the palms to the top of the kneecaps. And then here we're going to make a big circle with the knees. And in reverse direction. And then coming back up to stand, we'll give ourselves a little pranic bath here just to lubricate the shoulders. Bring forearms together, palms towards the ceiling, as if you're scooping something up, pouring it over you. As you come up, the elbows are going to want to come apart, and you're going to let them come apart. Roll the backs of the hands together, reach up, draw the shoulders away from the ears, open the fingers wide as you come back to the starting position. So take a few more on your own, getting to all those parts of the shoulder girdle. Go ahead and find one more. And then coming back to that starting position, release the hands, and just once again, give everything a good shake. We're going to take our blocks to either side, the short end of the mat. We're going to find our Tadasana here. And we're going to just get ready for our flying dragon. So you can walk the feet hip distance apart. Lift the toes, find the edges of the feet, and then press all 10 toes into the mat. And we're going to start to shift the weight onto the left foot. Let the right foot float up. Flex the right foot. Find our way to warrior three. You're going to pick up one of the blocks. Come into a high lunge. Lift the block up overhead. And then bring the block back to the heart center. Coming back into warrior three. Set that block down. Coming to stand, keep that right leg lifted, and then set it down on the mat. Same thing other side. You can have a little reset, open the toes, spread the toes. And what you're doing with your arms here, you can either have the hands on the waist if that makes you feel secure, or you can have them out to the side to help balance. You're going to be moving the hands to pick up the block. So go ahead and bring the weight onto the right foot, the left leg lift, flex the left foot. Draw yourself back into warrior three, and then go ahead and pick up the block. Set your back foot down, take the block up, and then bring it back to heart center. And then coming back to warrior three, set down the block, and then moving to stand. Keep that left leg lifted, and then set it down. Give yourself a shake. We're going to do one more on each side. So reset the feet, open the toes, start shifting the weight onto the left foot. Right foot floats up. Finding your way to warrior three. You can just play around with what the arms are doing today. Pick up the block, set your foot back. So you're in a high lunge here. Lift the block up overhead, and then bring the block back down to heart center. Flying once again, finding warrior three. Set the block down, and then coming to stand, keep the right leg lifted, and then set everything down. Give it a good shake. Last one. Go ahead and shift the weight to the right. Left leg floats up, flex the left toes. Find your way back. Warrior three. Pick up the block. Bend the front knee, set the left foot down. Lift the block up overhead. Back to heart center. And then find your way to fly. Set the block down. And then coming to stand. And then give everything a good shake. So now we are ready to fly our dragon. So go ahead and come to the top of your mat. You're going to find your Tadasana. Once again, feet are hip distance apart. You can soften the knees, relax the tailbone. Roll the shoulders out and then shine the palms forward. And we're going to start to shift the weight onto the left foot. And as we shift the weight, right foot rises and we're going to lift both hands. Flex the right foot. Dragon opens her mouth. And our dragon's going to fly into a warrior three. You can bring your arms out. You could have a lot up alongside the ears. And then go ahead and step the right foot back. We're going to walk the left foot over. Bring the hands inside the left foot. And then find our way down to bring the right knee down. Go ahead and untuck the foot, bend the elbows, turn towards the left knee, and then bend the elbows. You're looking around to see that it's safe. Press into the hands. Turn the head towards the right, bend the elbows, and then press back up. Keep the right hand on the mat. Open your left hand up towards the ceiling. Dragon's going to open her wings here, looking towards the front leg. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Exhale the hand back inside the foot. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Take that left foot up to the ceiling. So you're in a three-legged dog. And then we're going to swing that left foot right back down where it was and start to move the heel, move the feet, move the heels, rotate on the heels to find your dragon on the other side. So flying around the world, come to the other end of the mat. Bring your hands inside of the left foot and then set the right knee down. Once again, you're going to look around to see that it's safe on the mountaintop where you've landed. So bend the elbows, turn towards the right knee, press back up. Turn towards the left, bend the elbows, press back up. Keep the left hand on the mat. Draw your right hand up towards the ceiling. Dragon's spreading her wings. Take a full breath in, full breath out. We're going to heel toe that right foot in and now place the hands on either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're finding our way into a high lunge, so actively pressing into the ball of the foot as if there's a wall against you, really making that back leg strong. And then inhale up the arms. And then find your way to cactus, bending the elbows, leaning back, finding that open-hearted dragon with your wings tucked in. Take a full breath in, full breath out. And then exhale the hands back to frame the front foot and gently step the left foot forward. Finding your forward fold here. Take a full breath in, let the head hang, full breath out. Soften the knees, rolling back up to stand. The arms come up overhead and then draw a line through the center, finding your way back to Tadasana. From here, we're starting with the same foot. Spread the toes. We're going to start to lean towards the left, lifting that right foot up, bending the right knee, flexing the right foot, hands float up. Dragon opens her mouth, and then we're going to fly our dragon, finding warrior three here. And arms can be wherever you want. Where are your wings right now? And then gently step the right foot back. Bring the hands inside of the left foot. Heel toe the foot over. Set the right knee down. Once she's landed on the mountain, she's going to look around and see that it's safe. So bend the elbows, turn towards the left knee, and then press back up. Turn the head towards the right, bend the elbows. Press back up. Leave the right hand on the mat, open the left hand towards the ceiling. And just letting the wind of the mountain ruffle through your wings. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale. And then draw yourself back. Bring the hands back to where they were. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're coming into a three-legged dog here just for a moment, and then drawing that left foot right back where it was. Dragon's gonna fly around the world, move the feet as you go, and then bring the hands inside of the right foot. Set the left knee down. Once again, bend the elbows. Look direction of the knee, press back up. Turn the other direction, bend the elbows. Press back up. Left hand inside of the right foot. Right hand lifts. Taking a twist here. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale. One more breath here. And then bring the right hand down on the other side of the right foot. So you're framing the foot. Lift the knee. Finding your way into a high lunge here. Lift both hands. And then bend the elbows. And lean back. Open-hearted dragon. And then bring the hands back on either side of the foot. Gently step yourself forward and let yourself hang here for a breath. On an inhale, we'll roll up to stand, lower back, middle back, upper back. Arms floating up. And then draw a line through the center. This time, pause at the center. Press the thumbs into the sternum. And just take a couple breaths here, connecting with your own heart energy. If you have an intention for the new year, for this new upcoming year of the dragon, go ahead and bring it into your inner vision. We'll take another full breath in, full breath out. Release the hands down alongside the body. Coming into the other side now, open the toes, spread the toes. Start to lean towards the right and lift that left leg up. Rising the hands with you as dragon opens her mouth. Flex the left foot. Stepping back, flying the dragon. Warrior 3. And then gently bend the front knee. Bring your hands inside the front foot. And bring the back knee down to the mat. Toes can be tucked or untucked in the back. Looking around to see that it's safe. Bend the elbows, turn towards the right. Draw yourself back up. Bend the elbows, turn towards the left. Draw yourself back up. Keep the left hand on the mat and open your wings. And then exhale, bringing the hand back down. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Swing that right foot up towards the ceiling. And then exhale the foot back into place, turning to fly around the world. Heel toeing the feet, and then finding that dragon pose, lizard pose at the back of the mat. Bring the right knee down. Hands are inside of the left foot. Turning towards the knee, bend the elbows, press back up. Turn away from the knee, bend the elbows, press back up. Keep the right hand on the mat, open the left hand towards the ceiling. And then exhale the hand back down inside the foot. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, heel toe the left foot in just a little bit, keeping your balance there, finding your way to a high lunge. And then bending the elbows, leaning back, little baby back bend there. And then exhale the hands back down to frame the foot. Go ahead and step the right foot forward to meet the left. Forward fold. And then on the inhale, rolling back up to stand, lower back, middle back, upper back. The hands come up. And then as you draw this line through the center, bring the palms, thumb side to the heart. Take a full breath in. Remember your intention for the year. Full breath out. And then release the hands alongside the body. You give your scales or your dragon feathers a little shake here. And then one more time, left side. Open the toes. Feel into the left foot. And when you're ready, bringing all the weight onto the left foot, lift the right foot, hands float up. Dragon opens her mouth. And then draw that right foot behind you. Let the dragon fly here for a moment. And then gently bend to the front knee. Set the back foot down. Bring the hands inside the left foot. Right knee comes to the mat. Bend the elbows. Turn to look towards the left. Press back up. Turn to the right. Bend the elbows. Press back up. Right hand stays on the mat. Left hand floats towards the ceiling. Take a full breath in. Just really embodying that dragon here. And then exhale. Bring the hands inside the foot. Tuck the back toes. Lift to the back knee. Coming into that three-legged dog, we're going to swoop that left foot up towards the ceiling. And then draw it right back to where it was. Start to fly around the world, moving to the other end of the mat, bringing the hands inside the right foot, and then setting the left knee down and tucking the back toes, looking around to see that it's safe. Bend the elbows, turn towards the right, turn the head the other direction, bend the elbows, look towards the left. Keep the left hand on the mat, open up your right arm. And then heel toe that right foot in just a little bit. Frame the foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, coming into our high lunge here, actively pressing into the ball of the foot, lifting the hands, rising up, high lunge, and then bending the elbows, opening the heart, leaning back. And then exhale, frame the foot with your hands, gently step the left foot forward, forward fold, hang here for a breath. And then gently bend the knees, start rolling up the spine. Let the hands come up overhead. And then draw the hands to the heart center, press the thumbs into the sternum. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Imagine your intention for the year coming in to bringing that vision into the mind's eye. Imagine yourself succeeding at it. Imagine what it's going to feel like, look like. And then we're going to take the feet wide, heels and toes out, lift the arms up, and moving from star pose into goddess pose. And as we do this, shining out from the heart center, bend the elbows, bend the knees into goddess. We're going to let out a little lion's breath, a Kali breath. You can stick the tongue out and pierce the eyes as you inhale up, exhale down. Releasing all doubt, blowing any obstacles out of our way. Go ahead and find a few more. And then coming into the last one, letting out that fire, and then finding a little softness here in goddess. It's dancing and moving the clouds. And then back up to star pose. We'll heel toe the feet in. Coming into our Malasana squat, take the arms up overhead. And then exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Bring the arm bones inside the legs. See if you can draw your tailbone towards the floor and look forward. If this isn't available today, you can either bring yourself onto a block or you can even move towards a wall And just lean against the wall as you bend your knees and come into your Halasana squat. See if you can find a few more breaths here. And then release the hands. You can use the hands on the mat to bring yourself all the way down. We'll go ahead and just roll right onto the back. Take your block with you. And once on the back, bring your knees towards the chest, rock and roll a little side to side, find fetal pose. And then set the feet on the floor. We're going to come directly into a twist here. So press into the feet, lift the pelvis, scooch the pelvis over to the right, set it down, lift the block, legs 90 degrees, set the block and set between the knees, and then take the legs over to the left. Now, if your right shoulder is coming off the mat, either put a bolster or pillow underneath your legs, or if it's just coming up a little bit, bend the elbows, press into the upper arm bones, lift the shoulders, and then open the arms wide once again. Nice, big, deep breaths here, and just let gravity do the work. We've moved the spine in all directions. Now we're going to twist it out, twisting through the central channel. And once you're comfortable here, you're invited to turn your head to look towards the right or the direction away from the legs. You can close up the eyes and just breathe here. So we've got a few more breaths. And if you've turned the head to look towards the right, gently roll it back up, nose towards the ceiling. Reach down with the left hand, remove the block, and then just tiptoe your feet back. So no need to lift the legs and then do what we've just unwound. Once you're back in your bridge prep, lift the pelvis, shake it out, bring the knees back to the chest, rock and roll. So you can walk the pelvis towards the foot into the mat. Get your whole spine on the mat, and then back into your bridge prep. Press into the feet, lift the pelvis, scoot the pelvis over to the left this time, set it down, lift the legs 90 degrees. Arms out to the side, bringing the legs over to the right this time. Once the legs are settled, see if you can bring the shoulders more evenly onto the mat. And just take a few breaths here. See if you can fully release the exhale. Getting all the air out of the body. And if it serves you today, go ahead and turn the head to look towards the left. And letting your breath stay nice and deep and long. And on the inhale, we'll roll the head back up, nose pointed towards the ceiling. Take another breath there. And then go ahead, reach down, remove the block. Tiptoe the feet back, lift the pelvis, find your way back into fetal pose. Hug the knees towards the chest, rock and roll side to side. And then interlace the fingers in front of the shins. And we're going to draw the knees towards the forehead or the nose. Bring the nose towards the knees. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale. Gently set the head back on the mat. Spread the legs. Reach between the legs to get a hold of the feet. Reaching for outside edges of the feet or peace fingers around the toes to find happy baby. If this doesn't feel available, you can also just turn the palms towards the ceiling with the arms between the legs and set the ankles into the palms. Wherever you decide to take your happy baby today, see if you can find that joy, just having a little play, maybe extending one leg and then the other. And at the same time, remembering your intention for the year and the joy that you're going to cultivate with this intention. How you're going to feel, what it's going to look like, all the sensory details. See if you can bring those into your awareness while finding that joy of being in a human body. A couple more breaths here and happy baby. And then one more time, release the hold in the feet, hug the knees towards the chest. And then we'll find our way into Shavasana, taking both legs long on the mat, feet wide apart. You can use a bolster under the knees. That'll help any tension in the low back. And then roll onto one shoulder. Take the lifted shoulder, roll it down, and tuck that shoulder blade down so it's flat on the mat, and open the arm up, palm towards the ceiling. Roll onto the tucked shoulder, take the other arm, roll the shoulder blade down the back, open the palms towards the ceiling. If it feels safe here, you can let your eyes close off. And just relax into your Shavasana. And I invite you today to take your Shavasana for as long as you would like. Allowing your mind to drift into that dream state, seeing the details of your intentions coming to fruition. And taking this time for yourself to stay in Shavasana, dreaming the details of your intention for the year, bringing yourself out whenever you're ready. May the year of the dragon bring you good health, good relationships, and a lot of belly laughs and joy.